So today I'm going to share with you a powerful testimony. I'm going to share with you a beautiful and amazing experience that I had with my creator, with Jesus, with God several years ago. Okay? So my name is Jonathan. I was born and raised in Peru and I lived there for 28 years. Okay, so I was there, guys, in Peru. I was with my family, with my friends. I was working there. I was very happy there. But when I was 28 years old, something happened. The company in which I was working told me, Jonathan, we need you to go to another country, which is Chile, because in Chile we have our main office and we want you to go there to go to work in a project for several years. Okay, so that proposal was very attractive to me, so I ended accepting that proposal and I came to Chile in 2017. And after the first month I was here, I was very disappointed. I was very sad because I felt alone. I was alone here. I was not with my family, with my friends, and I was trying to start from scratch, trying to find a place to live, trying to get to know people. So at that point in my life, I started making questions like why I am here in this country. What's the purpose, right? Why did God bring me to this place, right? So I started making those questions because I felt alone, sad. So one day I decided to go to a church here in Chile, in Santiago. And I started Googling and I found a church that was close to my home in Chile, to the place where I was living. So I went to that church one night for the very first time. When I arrived at that place, I didn't know anyone there, so I just said hello in the entrance of the church. I just said hello to some people who were there, like receiving the the people, right? So then I entered very quickly into the church, and the sermon was starting. And there was a shepherd there, a pastor, a shepherd, and he started with the sermon. And the sermon was about the purpose of God in your life and the purpose of God in the things that He is doing in your life. So that sermon was very conducive, was very appropriate for the things that I was experiencing at that time, right? Because I wanted to find a purpose with my being in that place, right? I was trying to find a purpose with the fact that I was living in another country, and that sermon was about that, like what's the purpose of God in your life and in the things that you are experiencing. So the pastor said at the end of his sermon, wherever you go, to any place, God is going to be with you. You only need to be brave and you only need to work hard. So that was very powerful, meaningful to me, and I started like crying at that moment. And then the pastor said, please, that if you want me to pray for you, please come here, approach me, and I am going to pray for you. Okay, so I was very shy and I didn't go. I was there in my seat. Okay, so I was there, and many people went, many people approached to him, and he started praying for those people. But then suddenly he was with his microphone and he said, "Who is Jonathan?" And I was there in my seat and he said again, "Who is Jonathan?" And he didn't know my name, guys. He didn't know. So I hadn't had a conversation with anyone there. So it was impossible, right? And there were few people there. So it was very unlikely that there was another Jonathan there, right? So I was the only one. So I didn't respond because I thought that God had revealed something to him about me, and I was ashamed, and I was like, I don't want him to reveal what God revealed to him, right? So I didn't go and I didn't respond. And then he asked for the third time, like, "Who is Jonathan?" And I didn't respond, and then I realized that he was very close to me. He approached to me and he told me with his microphone, "You are Jonathan, right?" And I told him, "Yes, I am." And he started speaking, like telling me, "I brought you to this country. I brought you to this country because I have a purpose with you, Jonathan. Because you are going to do in this place, in this country, many things. And because I have a purpose with your life here. Okay, so you have to trust, you have to believe that I'm going to be with you and that I'm going to fulfill all my objectives and purpose with you here. You only have to be brave and you have to change some things in your life." So when he said that, I was crying because it was God speaking to me and calling me by my name, okay, and revealing me that he has a purpose in my life and that he would fulfill his purpose with me. So after that, guys, I was very emotional. I was crying, and the pastor, when he finished speaking me in that way, he started praying for me on his own, like saying, "God, I pray for this person." And he was very impressed as I was because he told me, "Are you Jonathan?" And I said, "Yes, I am," because he was also very impressed by that because he didn't know my name. So when that finished, when the ceremony there finished, I returned to my home and I was not the same person. I understood that there was a purpose in my life. And guys, 5 years after, I'm here in Chile, I'm still here, and God made many great things in my life. First, I got married here. I knew my wife here. She's the best woman in the world. I love her, and she also believes in Jesus, and she shares with me that faith, right, and that sentiment. So I'm very happy, and also God made many other great things. God, you cannot imagine. God brought also other members from my family here to Chile, and I'm here very happily married, and I know that God has many other things to do in my life going forward as well. So my final message to you guys, my final sentence, or my final message for you is that God has something to do in your life, and that you can also have an experience with God. You can have your own experience, your own unique interaction with Him. Jesus exists, Jesus is real, and you can have a connection with Him. So you only need to believe in Him, okay? So I invite you to believe in Jesus and to believe that He is real. You only need to believe in Him, and you only need to declare that He is your Sir and the God of your life. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to my experience, and I hope that you can have your own experience with God.